Different trajectories in this path to get to the Nationals. Capilano taking out VIU in the Pac West final. Humber at home got beat by the team that opened up this first day of action in Durham. So now here we are. Humber, a lot to look forward to. Speaking to Coach Miles before last week, they only care about Nationals. That's what they want. They came here for one thing only, and it's to win gold. And for Capilano, they've been in this type of environment before. They have come here also to win gold themselves.
Yeah, I think we're up for a good one. Might be the best game of the day. Hopefully, we'll see. Again, we talked all day about different style of play, Mo. We're getting a Humber team who loves to pressure the ball, deny, get in the passing lane. And then we have a Capilano team who's a little bit more of a pack team defensively, very conservative. And their two offense are very different. Humber loves to play, they have a 5-out offense with different actions, some zoom actions, 5-out, whereas Capilano, they love to post up their guards as well. They have some strong physical guards, so they're gonna look to post them up. So again, two different styles, should be a good one today, Mo.
You talk about some of the big hitters in this team. Cash Lang from Idaho for Capilano. He's one of the big guys to watch out for. Jalen Menzies is a guy to watch out for Humber, I beg your pardon. And a few other players to look at in this matchup here. Of course, talk about Malik Grant from Brampton, Ontario, the fourth-year player scoring nearly 16 points a game. They got some big hitters on that Humber Hawks team, and they can score points. They almost scored 98 games during the regular season. Up next now are the player intros, and from there, tip-off. And now it is Humber's turn to make their introduction to Quebec. For Humber, they talk about this motto: privilege under pressure is a godsend. And this is where they want to be, the pressure cooker of now trying to win their first game to get to the semifinal to play Vanier College. For Capilano, this is a team that has played with hard, tenacious defending and expect to do the exact same thing from the West Coast, now the East Coast. And we get ready for what should be a compelling matchup with these two teams on this Wednesday night, Coach.
It should be, and if we look at the previous game, Mo, the start of games has been really important for the winning team.
And here we go as we get ready now for tip-off. The overhead view, and we are underway. Humber scoring 88 points a game. They're 10-0 when they hit that number or better. And they will get this play underway. Cameron David, kick out from the flats. Coming through is Antwi, and he gets his first 2 points. Antwi, 6 times had 10+ points, had 17 against St. Clair during the regular season. 2-0 lead early on. Capilano scoring about 78 points per game. Featherston Jr. now in the traffic jam. He gets his first 2 points. 13 times, 10+ points, had 24 against Douglas.
Yeah, right away we see Capilano trying to post up their bigger guards.
And here is the big boy coming through. The teardrop, smooth, coming up. Alui scoring under 8 a game. In 6 games, had 11+ points, had 18 against St. Clair.
Yeah, good offense on both sides to start this game.
We talk about both teams shooting just around the mid-40s in field goal percentage points this season. Featherston Jr. had a wonderful game against VIU. Cash Lang is the guy to watch out for, the flamethrower, the artistic man who can paint with a brush, a 3-point shot or 2 along the way.
I'm curious to see how Humber is going to guard all those post-ups. Sometimes, you know, Mo, guards are not used to guarding post players, so it could be tricky sometimes.
Alui. Here goes Cameron David, stolen by the Blues, and away they go the other way. Ahmed Atman, and that is a turnover and by the Blues, who hit about 15 turnovers per game. They had 5 games of 20 or more. In fact, they had a slow start in their semifinal win over Camosun, and then grinded that game out in double overtime. And same thing against VIU. And you have to wonder if that might be the same projection here, if they have a slow start, but pick it up in the second, third, and fourth quarters. Antwi dancing its way through, and that's a whistle, and that will be a foul with 8:26 left. And there's a down Capilano player on the court, and that is one of their key figures in Damian Coleman from Baltimore, Maryland.
Yeah, so Humber got the switch on the last ball screen action, and they just used their advantage. And that's what happens with ball screens. When teams switch, you're giving up something. It could be a mismatch inside with size, or it could be a mismatch on the perimeter with speed.
And Antwi's first free throw is good. Scoring 8 points a game this year for the Hawks. Antwi shot 50% or better from the field 9 times during the regular season in the OCAA. And for Humber, they were in cruise control against Durham in the OCAA final a fortnight ago and lost in the second half, did not play as well as they did. But for Coach Miles, they said it's all about nationals. That's all they want is the national title in their back pockets. Atman trying to get around the defending of David. Lang's 3. Off the heel, rebound right back over to Malik Grant, and he is a good-looking player for this Humber team. Antwi, kick out, and that is pushed out of play. And you talk about three-point shooting, Jalen Menzies this year, 30% from long range, but he can go on a heater and hit about 4 or 5 in a row for the Humber Hawks.
Yeah, you know what's interesting, Mo? We just saw Briarcrest, who's a high-scoring offense, has struggled offensively, and Humber's scoring on average 88 points per game during the season. So it's another team who can score at will.
And Grant scoring at will, the OCAA Player of the Year, 5 times 20+ points. He is a centurion for this Humber Hawk team, up by a score of 7-2. And the first foul that will be called on Cameron David, and that will be the first team foul on the Hawks. And right now for Capilano, trying to get their sea legs here. They've been here since Sunday. They flew in Sunday to get themselves acclimatized because, remember, we had the clock shift.
Yes.
And wanted to get themselves acclimatized. So they've been in Montreal for a good 3 days. We'll see if their sea legs are going to be at sea level here in Montreal. Cash Lang, the North Van team, and Capilano. That's pushed away. That is not going to be recovered. It goes back to Capilano with 8 left in the shot clock. A disheveled pass initially, still Capilano ball.
I like the last possession from Humber defensively. Not getting sealed. That's the key, Mo. When you're playing post players or whatever, they're post or guards inside, you don't want to get sealed behind. You want to either try to play 3/4 or you want to try to get a full front.
7:29 left in this first quarter play. Here's Lang in the corner. On the switch, J.R. Harewood in the game for the first time for three. Off the heel, rebound, new 14, and cannot finish at the lip of the cup was Atman, and it goes back in. And this is a run and gun offense, and that is Coleman who will deny that. And a whistle on that play, and this will be another foul against Humber. And we saw early in that Vanier Briarcrest game how fouls were an issue for some of the bigs. It could be an issue here with some of the bigs for Humber and for Capilano.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. I like, you look at the lineup for Humber, they like to play 3 guards and 2 bigger wings. They want to get multiple drivers on the floor. That's their game plan.
Atman, Lang from center arc. And that ball was sent back to North Van on that pass. And it goes out of play, and back over it goes towards the Hawks. And for the Humber Hawks, a decorated team, and now trying to get themselves an extension of a 5-point lead towards 7, if not 8. Grant, smooth. You talk about a real hammer blow. He brings that hammer every single game for the Hawks. Up by a score of 9-2. Atman back with it. Against Grant from 16. And that is desirable. A 9-4 lead here for the Hawks.
Tough shot over a long defender.
And 7 times he had 10-plus points. Started all 22 games. And this will go out of play, intended for Menzies. Double sub coming in for the Blues as Gassemi will come in along with number 21, Zach Klim, whose brother plays at Fraser Valley University, coached by Joe Evanson, who was the coach for Douglas back in 2018 when they nearly won the Nationals at Montmorency over Seneca. Atman back with it. The help coming from Humber. Looking for Coleman, finds him on the sidecar pass. Trying to dance his way through in the left elbow. Beautiful pass, better finish coming in from Atman. Brilliant feet by him and a brilliant pass coming in.
Yeah, it's great patience on the set. Miscommunication from Humber.
Grant thought about the 3. Here's Menzies missing the 3. Rebound Lang, they're down by 3. And back over Coleman they come. Transition, Atman trying to go in the paint. Kick out, Coleman from the center arc. And they'll slow down the flow. Post play, Lang, head fake, beautiful play. He bamboozled Menzies in the air, got himself 2 on that finish.
Yeah, again, great action. Humber's losing the man in the short corner. They're gonna have to pay attention to that.
Grant almost caught in 2 minds on that play, backing up against Tim. Klim, that is, I beg your pardon. Here's the corner pocket. Too much on that shot, recovered by Coleman, and the rebound for him. A 1 and done for Humber. 5:12 left in this first quarter. Coleman, Euro. The DMV is open, and he came up big, and they're up by 1.
I think Humber needs to get back to moving the ball a little bit. Number 5, Malik Grant is a heck of a player, but the ball needs to move. Great find underneath.
And a reload for Humber, recovered this time by Harewood. On the byline they go. Cutter, no good. Menzies from the center arc. He misses the 3. Lang can't get the 3. And this goes back out and remains towards Capilano ball, as now coming in the super sub, Jay Hayer, who came in second half of the semester and did wonders for this program here. Did not play in the first half. 5 times scored 10-plus points, had 24 against Douglas. Hit a big 3 early in the first quarter against Camosun that got Capilano back on their bearings and eventually won in double overtime. Klim can't finish that. Last touch by who? And this will remain Capilano ball. Last touch by Romeo Osas Joshua, the lone member of the 2022 national run for Coach Miles and the Humber Hawks. Harris pass, catch and shoot 3. Miss, rebound. And back over comes Osas Joshua, gliding his way through, and that is denied by Atman. It goes out of bounds back over to Humber with 21 left in the shot clock, and you see the speed of Humber, which goes from 0 to 100 real quick here, Coach.
Yes, it does. But I think Capilano has really settled into this game. They're executing on offense.
The twist and turn, too strong whistle, and that will be a foul as Harewood will go to the line. Harwood scoring 2 points a game versus Niagara, had a season high 7 points, played a high of 15 against Mohawk, a key sub. And now coming in the game is Josh Vanderbilt, who is a cult hero on the Capilano campus with his style of play. He brings the no-nonsense blue-collar mentality and has become a cult figure within the Capilano campus.
That's amazing. You need one player like this on your team, Mo.
I'm not one of those players. Definitely not. But Vanderbilt is the Abbotsford, BC native in his 3rd year. 10-10. Still 10-10. And a crash of bodies as Vanderbilt got into a collision ending as he gets up slow. Low back injury for him as he gets up. But right now, it might be a winded situation for Lucas Lewis. As come in the game, it'll be Taj Motiki Stevens. And this is no forgiveness here in this type of event. You are one and done for a gold medal, and every team knows what's at stake on day one if you want to keep your gold medal aspirations alive. End line here, Antwi the inbounder. Finding Osas Joshua. Trying to dance his way through around Lang. He's fouled and he will go to the line for 3 free throws. 3 times had led the team with 10+ points at 15 against Conestoga and 4 or 5 from 3 against Niagara. And now at the line for the first time today, he's definitely a creator of chaos for this Humber Hawks offense.
Yeah, and coach from Capilano is saying that he kicked his leg on the shot, which is why he created contact.
Of course, Jason Price, the head coach of Capilano, had a good chat with him last week. And they talk about no-nonsense defense. That's how they win games. He said, I asked him, you went 13-11. Was that reflective of your team's performance? He goes, no, we lost 4 games, which we should have won. It could have easily been 17-7 in conference play.
They're a very sound team defensively. Very sound.
Here's Hare. By way of Surrey, BC, and there is a crash and collision, and that will stop play. And this will go back over to Capilano with 4:05 left in this first quarter play. Right now, Coach, tail of the tape, who's got the edge so far through 6 minutes of action?
I think the Blues right now, they've settled into this game. They're running their offense. They're playing at their own speed. Great kick out here.
Hare, splash. First 3 of the day. And you talk about his acumen. He's 40% from long range this year for the Blues. And they're up by 13, by a score 13-12. Antwi at 1. Using his Toronto street smarts on that finish. And you talk about the heart and soul. He is the guts of Humber and how he plays. And Coach Miles says he's our X factor and what he does for us at both ends of the court.
Yeah, great play. He recognized the mismatch in transition and right away decided, you know what, I'm going to take it to hoop. I got a speed advantage right here.
Antwi at the line. You talk about this game being embroiled in thickness so far. We're through 3:47 left in this first quarter of play. 14-13 lead. Antwi, part 2. Off the window, too strong, and gobbled up by Coleman on the rebound. Hare now on the go. Jay Hare trying to find the outlet. Now guarded by Isaiah Brady Clark, scoring about 9 a game. Lang, around 1, jumper, smooth. Flush in, and that is now a 15-14 lead for Capilano. Antwi. He's been the monopoly of ball control so far for the Humber Hawks. And here is the jumper, and that is a miss by Brady Clark. Rebound, new 14. Osas Joshua. Too much meat on that shot. Coleman on the cleanup. Ghassemi back on the front foot. Ghassemi is a very smart man for this program. In fact, Ghassemi is engineering major. That's how good he is as a basketball player with his academics. And that will stop clock with 2:49 left here. And how does Humber get out of this little rut? Because you're right, they've been a little bit disjointed in their possessions on offense, not finding this true rhythm that they had in the first few minutes of play.
Yeah, it's interesting. The Blues are kind of forcing baseline. almost kind of icing ball screens. They really want Humber to drive baseline where they're able to help early on drives and load up the paint.
Hare and Lang is hooked by the culprit, Isaiah Brady Clark. And Cash Lang was impeded on that play. Cash Lang, you talk about his value for this Capilano team. You ready for this number, Coach? 21 times, 10-plus points during the regular season, including 21 against Camosun. He went 8 of 14 from 3 against CBC. 11 times he's had 4 or more assists in a game. He is what you call a 5-2 player, a 5-star player for this Capilano attack. And they're up by 3. 2:49 left here in this first quarter. The fluidity picking up for Cap. In the game now for the first time today. Ndongo missing that one. And this will go out of play, and this will remain Humber ball with 14 left in the shot clock. And the quick outlet, the twist and turn, and the smooth finish from Brady Clark. He was the 6th man of the year in the OCAA West Side nomination, and now it's back up to a 1-point lead. Coleman, Lang, Cash Money, and they're up by 4 with 2:17 left here in this first quarter of play.
Yeah, I'm not sure Humber wants to help off of Lang. You got to know who you're guarding, Mo.
Now the dance move, and it comes up like with a star. T. Stevens scoring 2 points a game, had 8 points over Mohawk in an 82-88 win earlier this season. Hare. Lang again, hit a 3, post play, popped up, loose ball. Grant will get it back over, and now he's in a cul-de-sac. Lang can't get to it. Coleman does with the Euro, and that's the second time he went Euro. Pace and transition for him, and they're up by 4. Plenty intrigue in this game. Cameron David back with it. What does Humber have? And this will be a marché, a walk. Caught in 2 minds was Ndongo, and it goes back over as Menzies comes back in along with Atman. And right now for this Humber Hawk team, they've been clipped at the wings in the last 4 or 5 minutes of play, Coach.
Yeah, a bit of confusion offensively. Not too sure what they were running. If I'm Humber, I'm trying to get into my offense a little bit faster, and no hesitation.
And is Atman back with it? The 3. Bullseye! Ghassemi had 22 against Douglas. He talked about his 3-point shooting, 35% from long range, and they're up by 7. And right now, Capilano really put it on a show in this first quarter of play, Coach.
Yeah, look how sound they are defensively. Not overplaying.
And that time, that was smoothly played by T. Stevens. 4 points for him. They're down by 5. Both teams are in the bonus with 45 seconds left in this first quarter of play. Ghassemi. Here is Coleman. That's his postal code. Lang inside the trunk. Back out it comes, and now it is Ghassemi who will back up with 6 left in the shot clock. Grant on him. Ghassemi looking for help. Double teamed. Missing that 3, and this goes out of play, and it will be identical shot clock to game clock. And Humber can play for the last shot here with a 5-point lead in their back pocket for Capilano. And they will play for that last shot. David on the pirouette, well defended by Lang. Here's pirouette right by Atman. 3-on-2, and he lost him momentarily. 8 seconds left on the game clock. Still going with it. Lang had the ball in between his legs. And with 6.4 left, this will remain Capilano ball.
Yes, let's see what action they come up with off the sideline. Let's look maybe for something for Lang coming off a screen. You got 6 seconds, which is plenty of time to get the ball in and run the second action once the ball's in.
Lang, they found the right target, but that time that pass had too much on it. Still going back and forth. Here is Menzies off the backboard, and at the end of one round, it is Capilano 25, Humber 20. Coach, your key thoughts on this first quarter play?
I thought Humber started really well, but then Capilano settled in offensively. And one thing I'm very impressed, the Blues are not rushing any shots on offense. They're really taking their time. They're being patient. They're executing their action. And Humber has not done a bad job. The Blues are very conservative defensively. And if you're Humber, you don't want to settle for a shot. Like the last possession, you want to try to still put pressure on the rim, get some inside-out action, and maybe just get into your offense a little bit faster offensively.
So right now, it was a stormer of a finish for Capilano, and this is a team, again, that we looked at UNB St. John in the first game of the day. They had nothing to lose, and they gave a good fight to Durham and the other OCAA counterpart. And right now for Capilano, they have definitely played with nothing to lose, almost house money-like effort in terms of how they've been the last 3 games, semifinal win, the win over VIU, and now here they are playing Humber, going punch for punch and having a 5-point lead.
Yeah, I think so far in the first quarter, the style favors the Blues right now. If you're Humber, you're trying to find a way to generate a little bit more offense with your transition. Can you speed up the game a little bit and maybe make it a little bit more chaotic? Right now, it's a very structured game, which favors the Blues in the long run.
So, the good news and bad news, right? Humber, good news, shooting 50%. Bad news, Capilano at 66% if you're a Humber fan. But you look at the shot making right now, both teams have been accurate and pinpoint with their shots so far. But right now, the big storyline is this. Capilano 3 of 7 from 3. Humber 0 of 5. Usually they shoot about 29% from 3-point range, which isn't their strength because that is nearly in the bottom third of the OCAA rankings overall.
Correct. We'll see now coming out of the end of the quarter. Let's see what Humber runs here offensively. Sometimes when you run a zoom action, maybe you can change it up. You can curl the first screen, you can backdoor cut the first screen. Can you generate something with your zoom action?
Antwi back at the controls. The quarterback looking for the killer pass. He muscles his way through Lang, but cannot get the finish of desire. And back to Kissimmee comes. And here goes Atman back over. Post play, Featherston Jr. using his deltoids. The Arizona native with a Sundance finish on that play. A showman for this Blues attack. 50%. He shot that number 10 times during the regular season. Malik Grant awfully quiet so far. Off the iron, rebound, Menzies, 50-50, one back over to Grant. A new 13, and he was caught in 2 minds. And for Malik Grant so far, 4 points, but he's not had that influence yet that we expected him to have coming into this tournament.
No, I would like him to maybe get rid of the ball early and then get it back after an action. That could have helped their offense a little bit.
Kissimmee, and here is Atman. And Featherston Jr. cannot get that cleanly. Lang has an open space from the flats. Kissimmee, catch. A poacher's finish. Timeout called by Humber. 10-point lead for Capilano. Humber has taken a blow to the jaw. They're wobbly at the knees. Down by 10 with 9:01 left in this first half. And Malik Grant, Coach Maz, beg pardon, trying to get his team back on track. And Capilano spraying that ball so well today.
You know, an interesting aspect right now is Capilano is able to find the open man in the short corner. It's rare that teams exploit the short corner against man-to-man defense, but they've done a great job, and that has led to open threes. I also like their post-up action when they're looking to post up number 14. David Featherston. He's done a great job. He's a tough guy to handle down low. And let's see if Humber had a nice play call to start the second quarter. They just missed a layup. But let's see if they can get something else going at the rim.
So for those who know their CCAA history, last time these two schools met in a varsity sport at the nationals level was in Quebec in 2015 for the soccer men's final.
Wow.
Which Humber was down 2 men for nearly 120 minutes of play, and Humber won the gold medal on Capilano and PK. We'll see what this holds in this installment between these two teams. Grant's three. Off the iron, rebound, new 14 for Humber. Back out to Antwi. Grant was open momentarily in the paint, watched by Coleman. Antwi using the twist and turn. Grant, the finger touch, forensic finish by him. And you talk about his buckering ability, he gets critical 2 points for Humber.
Yeah, great first 2 possession on offense for Humber.
This is a team that loves assists, 19 a game, 20 times they had 19 assists or more. Bullseye! Nylon from Getsemi. They hit about 30% from three, make about 8 per game. 5 times they had 10+ threes in a game.
He's got the hot hand right now for the Blues. If you're Humber, you can't lose him.
Up by 11 are the Blues. Menzies, nope. Basket will not count. It'll be a foul called against Moteki Stevens. And for this Humber attack, they have looked full of jangling nerves and full of angst in this matchup.
You know what's impressive is the off-ball movement from the Blues when the ball gets at the high post, when the ball gets in the short corner. If they have somebody cutting at the rim, automatically they got somebody lifting in the open window. They're really executing well right now.
And Getsemi has been the executioner for this Blues attack. And here he is. Another whistle, delayed call, and you see the discontent look from the Humber bench. And this will be free throws coming up here for Getsemi at the line, who this year is shooting 100% from the free throw line. Hopefully I don't jinx him on that, Coach. Getsemi at the line. To add more gloss, and he does indeed. 6 times he had 6 points or less. Twice he had 6 rebounds or more. He's definitely one of those high-end players that can get you high volume and sometimes a little bit lean at times.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great boost. It's a great boost off the bench for the Blues.
Featherston Jr. missing that one, rebounded by Humber. Back over it comes. Here's Cameron David from Brampton, Ontario. He will go himself. That was too strong, a little erratic on that finish. And Cash Lang will bring it up. Numbers appear for the Capilano Blues. Switch of play. Featherston Jr. end line. And he was caught in 2 minds. And that will be a foul and 2 free throws. And he knows it because he had an easy layup and went for the spectacular and came up with blush on his face.
Yeah, coach is not too happy. He's telling his guys, where was the help defense on that drive? As a help defender, you need to try to get outside the paint as early as possible.
Featherston Jr. at the line.
Lane violation.
And that will be a redo. 35-22 lead for the Capilano Blues over the Humber Hawks. Humber not in this type of familiar territory before in terms of them being down by so much at the national level. And it goes back over. Can they get a deluge of points with 7:20 left in this first half? Post play. Here is Louis going up strong in for 2. And he gets his first 2 points of this quarter. He had 4 times he shot 100% from the field, and he's definitely a field goal maker for this roster. 35-24 lead. Getsemi has hit a couple of triples. Coleman on the near side flats. Trying to get around the Humber attack. They are buzzing, beautiful pass, and a better finish. The telepathy with him and with Atman was second to none on that finish.
Textbook offense, Mo, textbook offense. Reading what the defense gives you.
Menzies cannot read that properly. Rebounded by Capilano. 6:32 left here in this first half. 13-point lead from the visitors of the West Coast. North Van against Toronto. Lang from the flats. And that's a rebound right back over. It goes to Brady Clark. Humber trying to negotiate their way back into this game. Stopping, trailing, Grant, and 1. You talk about his ruthlessness. He's a showstopper with a silky-like acumen to his gameplay. And now at the line for the first time in this quarter, Malik Grant. 17-23 against Costanega. 10 times he's made 2+ threes in the game, shooting 46% from the field this year.
Again here, Humber getting a quality look in transition. So It's gonna come down. It's gonna come down to them being able to get stops and then being able to get out in transition.
And that's a big free throw coming up for Grant. Hits that one. Scoring 16 a game. Jay Heyer back in the game for the Blues. He's definitely the tonic required when they need him in the most crucial moments. Grant on the stolen ball. Menzies on the touchdown grab, and he is fouled at the conclusion of the play, and Jalen Menzies will go to the free throw line. Second team All-Star, 13 times scored 11 plus points, hit a triple in 15 of the 18 games he played in this season for Humber. And you talk about a flamethrower, he definitely has that ability to do so.
And one of the most underrated skill in basketball, Mo, the ability to pass the ball. And that was a heck of a pass, almost like a quarterback type of pass, leading up the offensive player going to the basket. It's something we don't see enough. Young players, practice your passing.
Well, you know, maybe if you need a football, they can crash the pass, you know. But Coach Miles talking about the Toronto Argonauts and how they've been an inspiration to the CFL, going 1-0 every game here, and that was a Chad Kelly pass to Jalen Menzies from Malik Grant.
It was.
And he is perfect on that one. 37-29 lead, south of 6 in this first half of play. Plenty of purchase in this matchup with the shot making by both teams. They've been very good. The conviction has been A+. Humber about to do a double sub in the next dead ball. Atman looking for the post play of Klim. Can't find him. Atman goes for a shot. Rebound right to Osas Joshua. And here is Grant the other way. Transition move, and they'll slow it down once more. Trying to work their way through, and that is utter chaos off the handling of Cameron David. No. And Price will call a timeout for Capilano with 5:27 left. Comes at a crucial moment in your mind for Capilano?
Not really, but I think Coach did not like the last offensive possession. I think he wants his team. They've been successful running their offense, so he's probably going to talk about, hey guys, let's make sure we're patient. We're getting great looks with our offense. Let's make sure we run our stuff, set good screens, look for cutters, get the ball at the high post or the short corner. Let's stick to what has been successful for us early in this game.
So really right now for Humber, they've only made 3 points in the inroads towards this deficit. They were down by as much as 11 since they called their timeout. So what's the key for them now? Because it feels like Malik Grant's starting to really find his way in this game, having his rhythm back intact as it was during the OCAA season.
Yeah, I would try to get Malik Grant coming off an action, maybe a zipper action or something. Can he get the ball on the move? He's a 6'7" guy who can handle the ball and create, but you don't want him to over dribble at the top of the key, at the top of the half court. You want him to try to catch the ball off in action and going towards the rim. So we'll see what Humber comes up with now out of the timeout here.
And Malik Grant played at UMD. Jalen Menzies played at Holland College by way of Northern Arizona University. In the game for the first time is Christian Desjardins. Here is Grant. He might be the supply line for Humber. Rebound, new 14, reload, Menzies. Missing the 3, rebound right back to Gissemi. It's 5:08 left here. It's a 3-on-2 for Capilano. Heyer, and this is a whistle, that's a charge. And we're going back the other way for Humber.
It's a big play. We had a 5-on-4 because Humber had a player down on the other side.
So Louis coming back in for Humber, and he will tag out Motiki Stevens on this sequence. 5:04 left in this first quarter play. The last course of your opening day feast. We've had 3 very good games. And Humber and Capilano is the nightcap on day 1. Game number 4, Grant from the center arc. That rims out. Desjardins with the rebound, and Desjardins will go to the free throw line. Had a season high of 12 points against Redeemer, 11 against Conador, 7 made field goals as well. And he is definitely a key depth player for this team. It will be a non-shoot coming up for Humber. And with that, 4th team foul on Capilano in this first half. Backdoor Grant. Klim and 1. Flamboyant, confidence, arrogance. And that is Malik Grant in a nutshell. And he's now brought this team back, now down by 6, 5-0 run.
Yeah, he's a tough matchup, Mo. He's a 6'7" guy. He's got good size, can shoot over the top of the defense, has the ability to handle, and has a nice touch also in the paint.
Grant at the line for the season this year, shooting 69%. 6-point lead. Momentum's in whose favor right now, Coach?
I would say Humber now. Humber has a bit of the momentum. Capilano has struggled offensively, and now we have a hold, I believe.
And that will stop play with 4:33 left. Foul on Humber.
Yeah.
Capilano.
So the Blues need to get back to running their offense. They've tried to go with their Spain action here, but they got to get back to running their stuff. Oh.
And here is running his stuff, Menzies. You talk about a showstopper, he is that, and now they're down by 4. 7-0 run for Humber. Hare, Klim, Alui, back in, flight 14. 10.0 finish, timeout called by Capilano. Capilano cannot contain the fizz of Humber coming out of the bottle, and right now they want to talk about it. And in 3 blinks of the eye, it was an 11-point lead, and now it's down to 2.
Yeah, the pressure has shifted completely. Humber's playing now their style of basketball, which is a lot of pressure on the ball, denying the passing lane, being active, and that resulted in 2 steals and 2 layups. And you could tell the coaching staff from the Blues right now, they're telling their guys on the sideline, let's be patient. Let's be strong with the ball. Let's fight to get open. Let's win the foot battle to get open. They got to get back to running their stuff here. They've gone away from the post-ups. Let's see if they go back to posting up some of their bigger guards here.
We'll see what they can do for the adjustments. Again, one thing we noticed in the first quarter, they were spreading out Humber and hitting 3-point bombs from all angles of the court.
Yep.
And since then, it's been closed off that supply line of what they had initially. Capilano, they've won 2 out of the last 3 Pac West titles. The running joke in the Pac West is they call it the VIU Invitational, given how many times VIU has been in the final, which I think was 16 years in a row.
Wow. But Mo, that's what we expected, a 2-point game. These are 2 really good teams. We have a really good game here.
A phenomenal game so far in this first half with 4 minutes left to go. Featherston Jr. Atman's pass, Desjardins, and that is a travel as Desjardins and Osas Joshua had their lines mixed up on who had possession of the ball.
Yeah, that was a good play after the timeout. That ball just needed a little bit more height, but that was well executed. That's
the voice of Francois Rene Mocon on this Wednesday night. We have Thursday tomorrow, Friday and Saturday. Day 1 of competition. Coleman, who played at CBC before transferring to Capilano. Featherston Jr. Watch play Louis. Lang around Louis. Rebound, Desjardins. A 2 ties it up, or 3 gives them a lead. Desjardins looking for the trail, he finds it. Osas Joshua. Louis in, tie game. Back to parity we go. No intimidation or fear from Louis on that finish. 37-37. And Capilano has gone stone cold from the field. Can they pick the lock of Humber on their defending? Humber only giving up 68 points per game. And that is right down Lillooet Road on that range jumper from Featherston Jr.
That was a huge shot. The Blues needed that.
Grant finding Louis from the free throw line. Pirouetting his way through, and he is fouled by the number 14 counterpart. And he's been a blockbuster so far, coming back in after the benching earlier in this second quarter play. Brady Clark about to come back in as Osas Joshua goes off. And at the line is Louis, who this year is a 57% free throw shooter. As you said before, he definitely can be effective. 61% from the field this year. And he misses that free throw attempt. And we talk about free throws this year. Humber, 62% per game. Unfortunately, that is in the bottom third of the OCAA. Only 3 times he shot 70% or better. 6 times, coach, 60% or less in a game. And that gives stress to a lot of coaches if you can't make your free throws.
Yes, for sure. Especially in close games, free throws are so important. I said it in the previous game. Not only are they free points, but they allow you to set up your defense. That's why free throws are so important.
Quick hands, Menzies. Layup, 4th point. You talk about his predatory instincts. He has the eyes for stolen balls this year for the Humber Hawks. 12 a game is what Humber has averaged, which is number 4 in the OCAA. Klim. Jumper. Too strong. Rebound right back over. And Humber is trying to really feel it. The vim, the vigor. The putback by Louis, and he is fouled. And that will stop clock with 2:18 left in this quarter play. And they want a timeout call here for Humber. And they want to talk about this 40-40 game in this compelling watch, coach. And right now, Humber has all momentum going into the final 2:18.
Yeah, I think number 23, Jalen Menzies, he's been unbelievable defensively. Active hands, great anticipation. He gave them a great lift in this second quarter to come back at this game, and we have a tie ball game now.
And right now, it has been one of those situations where for Capilano, they've endured but not enjoyed this last sequence of run, which has not gone in favor for them. So now for them to get back, it's tied 40-40s. They're not losing, which is good news for them. But the bad news is they had an 11-point lead, which they have now lost that. What has to go through their play sets now on offense to get themselves back in control?
You know what the big difference is? Humber is a lot more physical now than they were at the beginning of the game. Which means if you're the Blues and you're getting bumped and you're getting pushed around, you can't back up from physicality. You gotta go through physicality so you can go set your screens at the right place on the court. Do not let the Hawks determine how you're gonna run your offense.
And with that, it'll be on the end line. It'll be Brady Clark on the end line on this inbounds play. Humber is in a 40-40 dogfight. Louis, whistle, foul, 2 free throws. And right now, he has been a problem that they cannot solve on the Capilano end of the defensive court.
Yeah, disappointment on the coaches, on the bench here for the Blues. These are the type of fouls, Mo, that are not necessary. You're a big guy, wall up, keep your arms up, do not reach.
And the first step for Louis, not good. We talk about this team, they fancy the paint for this Humber attack. They love the paint. That's their DNA, their postal code for points for this season. Second attempt for Louis, smooth. And now they're up by a score of 41-40 with 2:16 left into this game. If you're a neutral, you are enjoying this. If you're a fan of either side, not so much. Coleman, we've not really talked about him yet. Lang had a good first quarter. He's been cold in the second quarter play. Coleman again. Coleman going up. Coleman is fouled, and that will stop clock with 2 minutes left in this first quarter, first half of play. And with that, Coleman will go to the line for 2 free throws. 41-40 lead. And for Damian Coleman, 53% from the free throw line, scoring 9 points a game. Coleman 13 times had 10+ points, had 16 against value, has shot 50% or better 11 games, 7 times 10+ rebounds. That is what you call a prototypical forward for any basketball team.
Yeah, we'll see if Capilano can get Lang involved a little bit here. He hasn't touched the ball much the last couple of possessions on offense.
Tie game again. Desjardins looking towards the Humber bench for the call. trying to find his options to work with. Grant thought about the three from the DVP, but he will opt for Menzies. Around the protractor it comes. Desjardins, high-low off of Louis' ankle, and this will go back to Capilano. And a turnover by the Hawks, hit about 17 a game. They play clean ball, which was number 7 in the OCAA. Final 140 left in this first half. Atman. Gusemi. He was strong in the first quarter. Lang trying to find his strength. Here is the three. And that's a miss. Rebound, Lang. Clean up. Can't get that. Second bite of the cherry, denied by Louis. And this will be bouncing right back over. Gusemi bamboozling his way through as he went by Harewood for the 2, and they're back up 2.
Let's see if Humber goes back to the empty side ball screen that they ran last possession. Again, here we see a two-man side.
Grant. And he now goes to Louis. Louis, fade away. And that is serene by him. Cool, composed on that finish. We're back to 43 apiece.
Yeah, tough shot making here. Great defense, just better offense.
Gusemi. And Coleman. Lovely footwork. The slamma jamma footwork like Hakeem Olajuwon out there.
Yes.
And they're back up by 2. 30 seconds left here in this first half of play. Grant. Trying to get around. Menzies for the lead. Can't get it. Rebound Lang. 2-on-1 for Capilano. Lucky for the alley, and the teardrop instead coming up for Atman. And they're up by 4 with 12 seconds left in this first half of play. Desjardins. Shot clock is off. 5 seconds left. Desjardins got 4 seconds left from the center arc. Off the iron, rebound Coleman, and that is that. At the end of the first half, it is Capilano 47, and it is Humber 43. Coach, your thoughts on that first half play?
Well, great way of closing the first half for Capilano. And Mo, they closed the second quarter just like they started the game and the way they played in the first quarter, by executing on the offense and being patient and running their stuff to perfection. That was a great way of closing the first half. And look, Humber was down big at some point and found a way to come back. It's anybody's game right now.
It is anyone's game. It's still in the balance right now with how this game is played so far. 47-43 lead for Capilano over Humber in this first half of action here from Vanier College. And we think we're going to be joined by Coach Price. I'm not too sure what the situation is right now. He's having that deep conversation now with his staff members, as Coleman is still on the bench right now, being looked at by the staff and training staff as well. So we'll see what happens here moving forward with what we've done so far. So without further ado, that is that for this first half. It is Capilano 47, Humber 43. And I think Capilano now will be joined by Coach Price, I believe. Or is he going to make his way towards the headset? No, he won't. He's going to get the stat sheets instead. So that is that here for this first half. So we will be back. Stay tuned. Round 1 going to Capilano on the scoreline, but we'll see how round 2 goes with the final 20 coming up here from Vanier College. Welcome back here. Francois Rene, Mo Khan on this Wednesday night, the final game of the opening day of games here. And again, for what we have moving forward, it's a 47-43 lead for Cap over Humber. And right now, Frank, when you look at these numbers here for Capilano, they shot the ball at a clip of 56%, Humber at 47%. Top point getters, Grant with 11, along with Louis with 12. Meanwhile, it is Atman at 11 points, and he got 12 from the bench from Gissemi. So really, it's been more balanced attack in terms of the Capilano output compared to Humber's so far.
Yeah, and will be interesting to see. Capilano closed the second quarter on a really positive note. Can they carry that momentum over at the start of the third quarter? And if you're the Blues, you're trying to make sure you keep running your offense, keep being patient like they did to start this game. And if you're Humber, you want to disrupt with your defense. That's what brought them back into this game. So let's see if Humber can impose their style right away to start the second half.
We'll see if the physical drills of both teams, talk about Malik Grant and also Cash Lang, can get going in this second half. Lang was quieter in the second quarter compared to the first quarter. Atman has it. Capilano going right to left. Humber left to right for the second half of action on your TV screens. Coleman looking for the outlet. Bouncing now, posting up against Antwi. Quick hands, almost stolen. Recovered in time by Capilano. Atman, near side flats three. Off the mark from Featherston Jr. Rebounded by Grant. A one and done for Capilano. Antwi in, looking. Off the heel, was right there at the cup, but could not get the 2 pointers required. And unfortunately for Cameron David, his elbow and body position results in a foul going against him.
Yeah, still a great possession though. That's a great take at the rim. He's gonna make that basket 99% of the time, so keep putting pressure on the defense in transition. That was a great take.
Humber did the heavy lifting in the second quarter. They were down by 11, now down by 4. Lang, Featherston Jr. Here is Atman from the elbow, and he is fouled and will go to the line for 2 free throws. And you talk about the security that he brings. Ahmed Atman, he is a glue guy for this team and how well he plays overall, scoring under 10 a game and getting about 26% from three-point range this season.
Yeah, and Kevin Lang is going to get a lot of attention, so you need other guys to step up and make plays.
Atman at the line. Talk about the conductor-in-chief of this Capilano team. They got 3 of them. That's the spine of this team. And here is Featherston Jr. denied. Rebound right back over to Capilano, new 14. Up by 3. Atman against Antwi. Atman losing it, and Antwi diving out there into second base like a Blue Jays player. And this will remain Capilano ball with 4 left in the shot clock.
Mo, I apologize. I said Kevin Lang, but it's Cash Lang. I apologize.
You know, same letter demographic, letter K.
It's getting late for us too, Mo. Been here all day.
We've been here all day. We've been here all day. Some of us have been fasting, some of us have not, but you know, it's what it is. Back door. Coleman's first 2 points of this second half, and not the most luxurious way of doing it, but effective, up by 7. This is a 2-3 matchup in the Pool B side of the brackets. And we see a 1-3-1 zone from Capilano. Are you surprised by this movement here, Coach?
No, it's a 1-3-1, but there's still a man-to-man principle. It's by design, Mo. They want to freeze the offense right now. And that worked that possession. Humber was not too sure what to run. And that's the worst thing you want to do. You don't want to overthink on offense. Run your actions, just flow into it.
We'll see if they can master the 1-3-1 zone. Coleman, Antwi on him. Atman, pirouetting, kick out. Coleman thought about it, and he was caught in 2 minds, and that will be a turnover by Capilano. And again, we talk about Capilano, only 15 turnovers per game. They had 5 games of 20 or more turnovers during the regular season. And today, they are at turnover number 11. Here's Antwi. The three from Menzies. Missing that. Rebound, Featherston Jr. back out to catch Lang with 8 minutes left in this third quarter. They're down by 7. Humber has no fear of being down more than that. In fact, we'll get to the number in 2 seconds with Menzies back in transition with the layup. Denied. Devoured by Coleman. Saved along the end line. And back over to Featherston Jr., who finds a 3-on-1 for Capilano. Transition. Coleman starts to kick out from the 45. Up in the air, Featherston Jr. still can't get to it. Still going out there. And it goes back over to Humber. So here's the key numbers we're looking at right now. When trailing at halftime, Humber is 3-0. Capilano, when they hold the lead, they're 12-1.
Wow.
So big number here for Capilano if they want to maintain this game. They're up by 7 with 7:30 left here in this third quarter of play. Menzies around the protractor. An overload now to the left. Grant, and he's fouled by Atman. Non-shoot, and this will be the first team foul on Capilano in this quarter of play. Capilano. And you have to think now, they're going to shorter bench rotation right now. They have gone 7-8. And there is a whistle on the courts. And not to redo the court alignment. There was something off the court.
It's interesting, Mo. Sometimes you see, we talked about Capilano's defense early in the pregame. Very conservative.
Grant, isn't that?
And right now, they're kind of mixing up some zone concepts with their man-to-man principles.
Grant getting the next points right there for him. He is now on point 13. And that's a whistle. Lang was on the ground, and the culprit is the Humber player. And Humber thought they had a moment of advantage. And remains Capilano ball with 6:58 left here in this third quarter of play. It'll be Atman, a bigger part on the end line. Featherston Jr. is the nearest to him. Louis watching him. Atman. Featherston Jr. You talk about the conductor of the orchestra. He came up with the sympathy that was smooth and serene at the end. Great
Execution again on the inbound play, using a strong guard to get an advantage on the post-up.
Alois jumper. Overcooked that one. Grant will save it off the ankle, and this will be Humber ball. The Capilano fans in the background are seeing otherwise as they try to plead their case as the judge, jury, and executioner, and now the conversation will be Humber ball with 6 left in the shot clock.
And you know, Mo, anytime you can score off inbound plays, it's bonus, right? Like teams scout, you should not get anything easy. But on the last play, they did switch the screen, and the Blues were able to take advantage using their size and strength.
Grant, and that is a carry by Malik Grant. And the chaos, it fizzled out for him, and it goes back over to Capilano, up by 7 with 6:33 left here in this quarter.
You see Coach Miles for the Humber Hawks telling his guys, play, move on, next play.
Atman, back over, Coleman, opening, Lang, in traffic, no good. Gets it back to Coleman, extra pass from the center arc. That rims out. Rebound again, this time by Curley. Menzies, same move, same stolen ball, and that is a foul on Coleman as Jalen Menzies laid in the weeds and came up with a stolen ball, and now going to the line for the first time in this second half.
Yeah, another great pass from the Blues. It was a long pass, a long skip across.
And with that, they will calm down the noise here. And you talk about Jalen Menzies, he's been picking the pockets of Capilano on those plays going the other way. He scored 4 so far off the turnovers. This could be point number 5 and 6 off the turnovers, courtesy of Jalen Menzies.
Oh, he's been unbelievable defensively. Really impacting the game on the defensive end.
Menzies hitting the first free throw, a 67% free throw shooter from Malton, Ontario in his 5th year. Menzies, again, has been a key player for this team all season long. He was a West All-Star, second team for the OCAA, and that now puts it back towards a 52-54, 45 lead. We'll have to get that scoreline corrected. In fact, it's 52-47,
yes,
not 54-45. And that will be a foul called. And the clock is correct almost in terms of the scoreboard as they go with that adjusted here. As again, right now with 5:58 left here in this third quarter play, 52-47 lead should be the correct score right now.
yes.
And the score should be correct with south of 6 left. It is going to be Capilano ball, 15 left in the shot clock. The big hitters in Humber against an upstart in terms of Capilano's reign and surge in the playoff run this year in the Pac West. Back out, jumper, excellent coming through this time from Featherston Jr. From Sierra Vista, Arizona in his 4th year. And they should be up by a score of 54-47. And that's a tough play. No good, and that will go out of play as Malik Grant is slow to get up. He's played some heavy minutes so far for this Humber attack. So 54-47 is the correct score line.
Right.
5:26 left here in this quarter.
Got a 7-point game here. Let's see if Humber can create something going at the rim.
Back out to the open space it goes. Osas Joshua. Grant in orbit. 5 left in the shot clock for Humber. Malik Grant, he'll fancy this shot. The putback, the forensic touch coming through for Humber, courtesy of Motiki Stevens, and they're now down by 5. The category map starting to pick up for Humber in the paint. Can they get more from that area? South of 5 in this third quarter play. Atman, Lang from the 45. That rims out. Rebound, Osas Joshua. Here's Grant the other way. Grant slipping, sliding, losing his gears, and that will be a jump ball arrow pointing towards Humber with 4:39 left here in this third quarter play, Coach.
Yeah, so, something interesting. The Blues used Cash Lang last possession as a screen setter. So as a screen setter, that opened up an action for him after the screen to get an open 3. We'll see if that's something they continue to do in the next couple of possessions.
Yeah, Malik Grant blew a tire, and now he's a little bit frustrated. May have tweaked his lower body as he's being looked at by the training staff right now. Jay Hare back in the game, going strong. Motiki Stevens coming up with the forensic finish as he mystified Capilano on that twist and turn down by 3.
Great inbound play, a simple back screen into a DHO, but they kept the ball instead of going with the DHO.
Coleman, Ghassemi, the putback, whistle, foul. And going through the paces was Capilano. Now they will have free throws coming up with Featherston Jr., who is a 60% free throw shooter, scoring 10 points a game at the line. And this is a Capilano team that has shot 66% in the Pac West, shot 95% against Douglas. 5 times they shot 60% or less during the regular season. I think that's what Coach Press was alluding to on why they could have won 4 games than what their record was, being 13-11.
Yeah.
5-point lead for Capilano right now, Coach. Momentum is in whose favor?
I would say right now, the Blues have answered the call. It's a 5-point game.
Jumper. And that is cool coming through from Brady Clark. And 1 score lead separating Cap with Humber. Ghassemi, that's popped up in the air. And that will be a whistle, and that will stop play. As there's a crash of bodies out there. Vandevelde on the courts, along with Ndongo. And this goes back to Humber the other way. And you have to wonder now, Coach, with Humber, they are able to go deep into their options that they have on the bench. It's the next cab off the rack, and they just continue to keep their legs fresh and fresher going towards the fourth quarter. Antwi from the center arc. Missed this time by Brady Clark. And that will be a whistle, and that will be a foul, and Capilano not happy about that conclusion.
Right now, the difference is the Hawks getting on the offensive glass. They've created second chances, or in that case, where it was able to draw a foul.
3:37 left here in this third quarter play. Menzies dancing against Hare. Brady Clark, jumper from the free throw line, and that rims out. Rebound and a crash of bodies with 3:31 left, and this goes against Humber. Antwi perplexed by that call, and Coach Miles not happy with that call as he has a big smile on his face. And you know, Coach, this position very well. Trying to work the officials over on trying to get a call in your favor down the road. And Miles still not happy about that call. And that's a tech.
That's a tough one.
So in 2 blinks of the eye, it'll be Cash Lang at the free throw line plus possession. They're up by 3. But you have to wonder indirectly for Humber if they're trying to motivate their team with that tech call.
Well, with that tech call, there's 2 ways you can go. What's tough right now is you're giving up 2 free throws and the ball. So if the Blues score there, that's a big play.
Here's Lang. And he is perfect. Cash Lang from the free throw line, 78%. The Idaho native delivering the potatoes, and they're up by 6 with 3:25 left in this third quarter play. Antwi blazes way through, and he almost made a poster out of Hare. And here is Hare back with it. And there was a heart and mouth moment for a Jay Hare. That's not what he wanted as a postcard going back to North Van. Coleman. Hare, 6 left in the shot clock for Capilano. Jab set by Hare for 3. Bringing the masala to the three-point shot, and now they're up by 9. Hare with the 3. Backdoor hammer coming through for Motiki Stevens, and now they're down by 7.
Great answer by the Hawks, but solid screen on the other side. We talked about a screen assist. That's exactly what happened here.
Quick hands. And that was not in the right angle for Brady Clark, as coming back in the game will be Malik Grant for Humber, and Menzies goes off with 2:31 left here in this quarter of play.
And that's what number 15, Josh Vanderveld, can do for you. He can set solid screens to free up shooters.
And that is a 5-second violation. It took 6 seconds. As Hare, heart and mouth moment right there on that moment, and that will bring it back over to Humber as they're down by 7 with 2:31 left here in this fourth quarter. It feels like, Coach, there might be overtime in this game. It has that vibe.
Could be.
Antwi gliding, Antwi, and 1. You talk about escaping the shadows. He came up with the flair and attacking ability, and now going to the free throw line to perhaps make it a 4-point gap.
Yeah, if you're the Blues, you've done a great job all game with showing bodies in the gap. And right now, their defense was spread out completely, and that was way too easy going towards the basket.
Talk about that. No second imitation by Quebena Antwi at the line. That was off completely. Antwi, second bite of the cherry, is much sweeter, and now they're down by 3. 4 points in his last 2 touches.
Big play, big play.
2:14 left. Hare hit a big 3. They were up by 7, and now another whistle, and this will be a foul called against Humber.
It's a big play, Mo. The last possession, the free throw shooter getting his own offensive rebound. That was the responsibility of the third players from the Blues on the rebounding side. You got to box out the shooter on the free throw.
Ghassemi 2 for 2, and now they're back up by 5. 2:08 left here in this quarter play.
There's an old saying, Mo, bend but don't break. That's what the Blues are trying to do right now.
I've heard that saying a couple of times.
You don't want to break.
Grant, concentration now in full mode for both teams. Malik Grant, backdoor, and he will find an opening, and that will stop plays. And Ndongo was denied initially physically, and now he goes to the free throw line. Both teams in the bonus with 1:48 left here in this third quarter play. You can talk about how some of the games went by rather quickly. We were flying through the first 3 games, but this game has really gone to a grind in this third quarter.
Yeah, and the last 2 games have been reffed very tightly, right? A lot of calls. So guys got to adjust. They got to defend. They got to move their feet, get their arms up, stop reaching. You got to adjust.
And the free throw will clank, and back out to Capilano. 4-point lead with 1:44 left here in this quarter play. North Van versus Toronto. Backdoor is Cash Lang. Here is Gissemi. Missing the 3. Rebound, reload, right back over. And Ndongo, one-on-one against Lang. Going with the Euro. And recovered by Gissemi, and now they have a 2-on-1, making a 3-on-1. Give and go, the alley, and that was rejected by the rim. Lang for 3. Rebound by Motiki Stevens. 1:13 left, switch of play, draw pass. Humber, Motiki Stevens, denied by Gissemi, rebounded by Coleman, and now they want to calm it down with a minute left.
Yeah,
and
the Blues are going to slow it down now. See if they can get into one of their set.
Featherston Jr. in, going, rejected out of bounds, and this will be back over to Humber, and that is what we call steel-like defense that they wanted from Humber. Menzies and Sweet coming back in for Humber. They are scratching, they are clawing, and right now the Hawks and Blues have gone punch for punch in this ballgame, Coach. 49.7 left here in this quarter play. Humber on possession. Could they cut this to 2 or maybe 1? The attacking power is trying to really rev up here for Humber. Still a 1-3-1, Coach. Grant turning. Grant missing. Rebound Gissemi. 30 seconds left.
Yeah, we got 30 seconds left. Are they going to go 2 for 1?
Featherston Jr. missing that one. And here goes Antwi. 22 seconds left. Intercepted by Gissemi. Gissemi will go, and he will lose that. Menzies will be called for the foul. And that was the most significant touch because Gissemi had lost control of the ball and got the call in his favor, and now at the free throw line again.
I'll say this, Mo, and it's easier said than done. I'm a coach, so I can tell you it's tough sometimes with the emotions, but I think both sides, we got to make sure we stop talking to the referees. You got to try as a coach to focus on your team, but it's easier said than done. It's a very close game. It's an important game. As we have a player down here, I think a cramp maybe.
It is Coleman, who was cramping at the end of the first half.
Okay.
He took a while to go from the bench to the locker room, but again, he has been a warrior. He was banged up in the final against VIU and played not at full strength, but again, he may not be full strength at this tournament, but he has definitely done the grind work for this Capilano Blues team so far in this game today.
Yeah, he's an important piece to their team. He does a little bit of everything, right? He rebounds, he defends. He had that monster block shot in the first half. So he does a little bit of everything. He's a glue player for them. Hopefully he's okay and he can get back on the floor in the fourth quarter.
Hare is going to come back in for Capilano. And it will be Gissemi at the line with 16 seconds left here. Hare will come back in for Cap. And now we'll see what they can do on this next sequence coming up for Humber. If Gissemi hits on, if not one, but both free throws. And makes it a 5-point lead with 16 ticks left in this third quarter play.
He's having a great game, Mo.
Gusemi, yes.
Off the bench, great game.
If you talk to him about his game against Camosun, he had a unusual turnover late in the game that gave Camosun a chance to tie it up, which they did, which forced overtime times 2. But he definitely has had a wonderful game so far for Capilano. 6-point lead. Antwi Hayer, eyeball to eyeball. Grant back towards net. 6 left on the game clock. Grant back door. Alui in for 2. And back up 4 is Capilano. And at the end of 3, round 3, still in the pole position is Capilano. They have led from the first quarter to where we are right now, Coach. We're now going towards the fourth quarter. How important is that first 2-3 minutes for Capilano? Because it feels like Humber is still in the mirror on the car ride back home.
Yeah, I'm not sure about who has the momentum right now, Mo. I think Humber is slowly climbing back at this game. They brought it back to a 1-possession game here. And now it's a 4-point game. But yeah, I think if you're Capilano, maybe just the first couple of possessions offensively, can you get a good look? Can you get an easy basket maybe, just to get your confidence back up for the start of the fourth quarter? And if you're Humber, if I'm Humber, I'm telling the guys, we've been down all game, but we're right there. And this is the time right now to turn it up to start the fourth quarter. It's our time now.
We'll see now that time ends up being precious because we go to the final 10 minutes and one of these dreams is going to come to a crashing halt here in this fourth quarter. Someone will be playing for the bronze medal chase and someone will be one step closer towards the gold medal on Saturday night on Vanier's court in 48 hours or 72 hours from now.
Yeah, I can tell you something. That matchup against the home team Vanier tomorrow is going to be a heck of a matchup. It's going to be a heck of a game.
Well, it's going to be a heavyweight fight, both semifinal games. Brave Bluff against Durham, the other OCAA, the champions of Ontario, and perhaps Humber can make it an all-Quebec, all-Ontario semifinal on Thursday night. But that is to be remained because the team from the Pac West in Capilano wants to ruin those party plans and get themselves into that Final Four.
A crazy stat, Mo. Humber has not made a 3 in this game. They're 0 for 11, and Capilano is 7 for 19.
And Humber makes about 7 threes per game. They had 5 games of 10-plus threes. They were 3 of 18 against Fanshawe, which was one of their worst efforts. And Lang showing no fear or intimidation on that finish.
That's a design set play. That's what I was talking about. Great set play out of the quarter.
6-point lead. Grant can't break the goose egg. Lang on the rebounds. And Cash Lang has been the glue guy so far, and that is a whistle, and that will be a foul on Osas Joshua, the lone member remaining from the 2002 national title run that they won on their court 3 years ago. Menzies back in the game. And you have to think now, Coach, perhaps frustration starting to seep through a little bit in the Humber pores, and how this has not gone their way so far. Lang from the center arc. And that's off the iron, rebounded by Menzies. Cameron David this time, going towards the hole, and that is a whistle, and that will be a foul as he tries to find his shooting rhythm in this fourth quarter. Yes,
Humber runs what we call a 2-man action. So they run an empty side ball screen. But what they need to do is on the other side, so on the weak side where they have 3 players, right now they're just ball watching. Can you get a cutter going at the rim? It could be the corner, it could be the 45. You need to create some movement on the weak side a little bit.
Well, it's still a 4-point lead, so there hasn't been much movement. It's been going 4-8 in terms of the deficit for Humber. Capilano's done a really good job handcuffing the Humber attack. And Featherston Jr., and you talk about that size, he's about 250, 260 of muscle. You don't want that falling on top of you.
No, he's a strong guy.
Yeah, he is an Adonis out there in terms of the physical strength that he has with 9:05 left. I don't think he misses a day of shoulders.
Probably not.
There is a gym here, Vanier, if they want to work out. 14 left in the shot clock. Featherston Jr., the end line passer, or Atman, big part, is the end line passer. And that was a dangerous play as Hare saves that. Jay Hare. Switch of play, Atman finding the opening, and Vanier denied by Motiki Stevens. Lang, 3 left in the shot clock. Lang too strong, and that was a chaotic possession. Back over to Humber it comes. Menzies, and he is fouled, and Featherston Jr. with eyeball reaction, thinking that he made no contact, but it was all ball in his mindset.
Yeah, I think the contact was with the lower body. It was not the swiping motion of the arm. It was really with the lower body. I think it probably bumped him with his lower body.
Now at the line is Menzies. And he will iron that one.
And Mo, we're on pace to probably get in bonus again really soon. It's been only a minute and 15 seconds, and we've got 4 fouls in total already.
I wonder what the bay line is right now for it to hit bonus before the 5-minute mark. Rebounded by Motiki Stevens. And this is a jump ball and the arrow point towards Humber. So it remains Humber ball as they bring in the Dreadnoughts in Coleman along with Ghassemi. So Damian Coleman back in the game for the Blues, which is a good news for him because he was a bit winded earlier in the third quarter. Antwi. Menzies around the protractor it goes. Here is Grant, watched by Coleman. The two bigs going at it on this third Wednesday afternoon, and that's taken away by Hare as he snatched that ball as we go deep into the night. 4-point lead for Capilano. Coleman. Ghassemi, jumper. He missed that. And Humber now back on the front foot into plus territory. Cameron David. Antwi. Looking for the cutter. Man-to-man look for Capilano. Ante on the switch with Ghassemi. Will he take the three? He fancies it. Right down Rexdale Boulevard. And a big three down by 1.
Big shot, first three-pointer of the game, Mo. They backed off of him, and he stepped into it with confidence.
It comes at a crucial moment. Ghassemi with an ace.
Great answer.
Back up 4. 7:40 left here in this fourth quarter. Antwi. And jump ball, and that's going to be Capilano ball with 7:35 left in this game. If we were to rank all 4 games, this is probably the closest we've had amongst the 4 in terms of the scoreline and flow of play by both teams.
It is, and you saw 2 possessions ago why Coleman is so important for the Blues. The ability to guard Grant from Humber, he has good size, he can move his feet. He's a glue guy for the Blues.
Ghassemi, Grant, and back over to Cameron David. Game is more interesting now than before. David pivoting, denied by Ghassemi. Still a fight for it, and David gets it back, a new 14 for Humber as they now look to re-rack this whole possession. Antwi with 5 left in the shot clock. From the free throw line, from Etobicoke, missed completely. And Hare now slow it down, back out to Ghassemi, who's been the supply line at both ends of the court. Lang, Coleman. Trying to go through is Lang. Coleman inside the teeth. Coleman still going. Coleman missing that. Back out for Lang for 3. And 2 quality chances and 2 empty misses by the Blues.
That's a tough break here. You got to score on that possession.
Menzies, Antwi. Here is Grant. Splash! Down by 1 with 6:16 left in this ball game. 2 big threes in the last 4 possessions for Humber, and they're down by 1. What does Capilano have? Hayer's jumper. That's his DNA, a buccaneering player, and they're back up by 3, south of 6.
The Blues keep answering, right? Humber makes a little run, and the Blues answer. That's what I said. Bend, but don't break.
David. That rolls. That's a no-go. Coleman on the go. 2-on-2, 3-on-2. Dropping Ghassemi wide open. And that split through like the Pacific Ocean. Timeout call by Humber. And now it's up to a score of 75-70. Stay tuned here. Capilano has Humber on the ropes, perhaps. Find out. 5:36 left here in this fourth quarter.
Not going in the middle of nowhere.
Welcome back here to Humber, and now it is Capilano. Coming through, it is Humber. Menzies. The cutter from Motoki Stevens. Menzies. Grant trying to jab his way through, and this is last touch, and this remains Humber ball with 9 left on the shot clock. Grant to be back in the game, and going off will be Osas Joshua. Grant on the side out in front of the Capilano bench. Motiki Stevens. Antwi on the switch. Antwi with the left to the right. High off the backboard, that plinkles his way through. Here is a 2-on-1 for Capilano. They will slow it back down as we approach 5 left in this ball game. Hayer. Lang around the protractor. Gissemi. Coleman. Sidecar now to Hayer. Hit a big 3 earlier in this second half. Jumper from, and that is a miss by Atman, and this goes back over to Humber. Still down by 5, 2 scores separating them and Capilano.
Yeah, let's see what Humber comes down with.
Grant now going to the left, that's to the right. From the 45. And that was completely off the target from the miss by Brady Clark, who shoots about 26% from three-point range. 4:20 left in this ball game. Humber trying to get this through, and that does not go through. And here comes Brady Clark up, and that is a whistle, and that will be a foul. And we talk about these two teams here. Humber, Capilano is 12-1 when they lead after 3 quarters. Humber, when they trail, they're 2-1. The lone loss to Durham in the OCAA finals.
They haven't trailed a lot this season, that means.
Which is a good thing if you're Humber, but right now it's not a good thing at this point in the context that we're in this CCAA Nationals from Vanier College. Day 1, the 50th CCAA Nationals.
If I'm Humber, I'm trying to go back maybe to that middle ball screen that they ran at the end of the 3rd quarter. That was very successful. That caused issues for the Blues defensively.
7-time national champion Humber Hawks, 91, 92, 93, 95, 01, 15, and 22. Capilano, Pac West Gold, finished 5th at State University a couple years ago. They played at Edouard Montpetit back in 2003, and they've had some success here in Quebec before, and that's taken away by the Humber Hawks. 3:55 left here, down by 3. Deep and tasty this game has been. Grant, Atman on him, and here is Grant again. Atman doing a babysitting job on him for the tie. Right down Rochdale Boulevard. Parody back in play. Timeout call, or that will be a tech called on Capilano. And you have to think now, Coach, this comes at the worst time possible to allow Humber to tie it up and take a tech late in this ball game.
Yeah, I'll be honest, Mo, here. First of all, a heck of a shot from Grant at the top of the key. I'm just a little bit disappointed. I don't know what was said. I'm not sure what was said, but it's a close game right now. You want to let the players decide the game. But again, Mo, I don't know what was said. So it's easy for me to say that right now.
A lapse of concentration. The frailties showed up at the worst moment here for Capilano because Humber has momentum going towards the final three and changing this ballgame.
100%, and now they get to go the free throw line, and I mean we'll see. Again, I don't know what was said.
And we'll see from the highlights here that we have lined up. Perhaps we can catch it here, but you talk about the serial scorer, Malik Grant, has put Humber on his shoulders and has carried the GTA to a tie game against North Van.
Oh, he has made 2 big threes back-to-back, and he has come to play. And that's where we see his length, his size, the ability to shoot the ball over smaller defenders. If you're the Blues, right now, he's feeling it, so you gotta get up on him a little bit more.
And if Humber ends up winning by, say, a point, if Humber does convert on this free throw, we can look back to this moment. That could be the turning point in this situation. They were up 5, and in 3 blinks, they could be down by 1. And at the line is Brady Clark, who's the 85% free throw shooter. Ice cool veins, a test of fiber for him. Not that time, so they get exonerated for that miss, but now they got to make up for the lost possession, perhaps, in terms of what happened. But again, this could also turn in favor for Capilano on that tech by Coach Price.
Hey, we'll see how they execute now coming out of the timeout.
Canadian basketball at its finest. CCAA Nationals on right now. Hayer. Gissemi. Featherston Jr., that is last touch by Antwi, remains Capilano ball. And you have to imagine now, Coach, that what we have out there for the 5 players each side, they are going to go the distance, I think, in terms of what is going to be presented by both teams.
Probably. You might see 1 or 2 subs, but, I mean, these are the core players that you're going to see for the last 3 minutes.
Trying to get it out, and they do indeed. Lang in the corner, watched by Brady Clark. 6 left in the shot clock for Capilano. Gissemi missing that from Burrard Street. 3:13 left here in this 4th quarter. And a chance for Humber to regain the lead for the first time in a long time.
Here you go with that middle ball screen.
The putback. Motiki Stevens.
That's why I said last possession. If I'm Humber, I'm going back to that middle ball screen.
2-point lead. Capilano have their work cut out. 2:48 left. Featherston Jr. going hero ball. Missed that completely. Humber back on the front foot. And now the nails are starting to become non-existent for any Capilano fan. Down by 2 to the Humber Hawks. Antwi still going in there. Antwi playing YMCA basketball, and that will be free throws coming up for him. It looked like Sunday afternoon ball that you see at the YMCA. He just walked in there without any obstacles.
Look, down the stretch in a game, if you have a favorable matchup or a favorable action, like right now for Humber, that middle ball screen is causing issues for the Blues. They're not sure, are they switching it? Are we just going over? Are we going under? They're not too sure. It's creating confusion. So Humber is going to keep going to that middle ball screen until the Blues find a solution for it.
So Antwi does not get the first free throw, only a 44% free throw shooter. We talk about that number we talked about before, right? 6 games he shot 60% or less Humber from the free throw line, and this is now coming at a crucial point for the dramatics of the game that we have right on our eyes. 0 for 2. 2-point lead Humber. 2:20 left in this ball game. Capilano. Lang in, Lang. Rims out, rebound Grant, and that's all 6-7 of them on that rebound. Humber showing their composure. 2 left in this ball game. They're up by 2. Antwi, Grant. This is who you want. The ball's in hand. Not that time. A charge.
Yeah, great call by the official. Great call. We extended the arm on the drive. Well played by the Blues, moving their feet, staying square at the ball. And now let's see if the Blues, Mo, let's see if they go back to something in the post. They get the ball inside and try to create some movement here. We'll see what they're running here. They look like they're gonna try to balance the floor.
Boiling Point at its best right now. Simply a sumptuous game with these 2 schools going at it. Coleman, Lang, around 1. Featherston Jr., 6 left in the shot clock for the tie. No, rebound, and 1. The creator and the chief, a devilish finish by him, back to 77, and at the line this year, he is shooting 60%. The Arizona native coming up big.
Just a little adjustment here, and that's a play call from the bench. Instead of sending the ball screen towards the middle, they flipped it, and the ball screen was towards the sideline, and that created an advantage for the Blues.
Featherston Jr., the biggest free throw on his fingertips to put Capilano back up by 1. 1:32 left, and he does indeed. 3-0 run for Cap on Humber. And remember the 2 missed free throws by Antwi that could have put them up by 4. 1-3-1 look again, perhaps. Switch over by Lang. Menzies. Grant. Using his deltoids, the fade. Rebound, Louis is fouled. And you have to think now the size factor, the length that Humber has will be problematic when it comes to the 50-50 rebounds.
Yeah, I mean, the Blues were looking for an over the back here. I think it was a close call, but you got to make sure you're boxing out right now.
Louis at the line this season, shooting 57%. Humber in this game has missed 10 free throws, and they're down by 1. The tie is back in play. 1:16 left. Louis. Heart pounding the back of the ribcage for Louis to give Humber the lead. And they will bring back in Motiki Stevens as they get longer in length in this game.
Let's see if the Blues go back to that inverted ball screens towards the sideline.
Atman, watched by Antwi. Lang in traffic. Gissemi. Coleman. 1 pass too many. And Humber, they're calming it down with a minute left in this ballgame. 1-point lead. Antwi stopping. 3-point lead, Humber. 53 seconds left. And if you're looking at Capilano, the talking point may be they might be the architects of their own downfall. They had an 11-point lead, and Humber chased it, had a 1-point lead, and now have a 3-point lead with so little time. How do you play it now, Coach, if you're Capilano?
So if you're Capilano right now, let's see what they come up with. They've had success after timeouts. Can you get a backdoor cut somewhere? Can you get a post-up action with movement off of that? That's what Capilano's doing. And if I'm Humber, I'm sticking with that middle ball screen. When we look back at this game, if Humber is able to win this game, then the success with that middle ball screen will be one of the reasons for that win.
Well, for Capilano, they are now down to their last rolls of the dice in this game, and it's been a huge talking point in how this game has been played. And some might call it a smash and grab by Humber, but the Hawks don't care how they win, perhaps, if they do end up winning this game, because they don't want to win one thing and one thing only. Coach Miles says, we only hang up national banners in our gym. not OCAA banners.
Yeah, and for them, this is almost like a bounce-back game, right? Like the last game, they lost that game. So this is a bounce-back game for them. And look, Mo, it's a one-possession game. There's still 53 seconds left. There's still a lot of time left. This game is far from over here.
Could Capilano break the resistance of Humber? Gissemi. Lang, 53 seconds left in this ball game. A little bit disjointed, very static. Lang for three. Tie game. Ice veins.
Beautiful set play out of the timeout.
Ability and imagination, and now service back in the hands of Humber. 35 seconds left in this ball game. Antwi looking, denied, whistle, and that will be a foul.
Wow. Mo, going back to Capilano, last possession. This is what coaches get paid for. Great after timeout inbound play. It was a get action for their best player, Cash Lang. And what a shot, Mo. We're tied 81-81.
But Antwi right now looking at his ankle. And
not sure what the
and he's been a warrior today, Antwi. He has been an absolute warrior. And this would be a heartbreaking moment here if he can continue on, because he has willed Humber back into this game, and they'll bring in Osas Joshua into this game.
Oh, and he's been a matchup problem for the Blues. The ability to get in the paint and to really just break down the defense.
And actually, this becomes an upgrade in the free throw shooting department, because Osas Joshua, 82% this season. And they're back up by one. To put it up to a 2-point lead. 29 seconds left. Do they dare to go for the kill shot of a three-pointer? Atman, Lang, Menzies on him. Here is Coleman. 13 left on the shot clock, 16 left on the game clock. Atman again. Facing up, a lot of static movement right now for the three. Off, rebound, Grant. Foul called. And there was a lot of passing, but not much acceleration. And Humber is 6.4 away from icing this game away. Coming up now for Grant on his fingertips.
Big free throws here. If he makes two shots, this game's pretty much over. But big free throws here.
And Grant this season, a 69% free throw shooter. They're 6.4 away from an all-Quebec Ontario semifinal for both sides. A semifinal 1 and semifinal 2.
If you're the Blues, you gotta be ready. In case he misses his second free throws, what are you running going up the other side? With 6 seconds left, it has to be a quick shot.
And they have a lifeline now. 6.4 left. There is a lifeline for Capilano, but you are absolutely right. Can they get this off with 6.4 left?
Right now, you gotta get the rebound in case he misses his second free throw.
So we know what the action has to be, a three-point shot. Gissemi, Lang are the two key hitters. Do they have the magical touch now to get that three-point shot in? And that's going to be key for Capilano to force overtime.
It's going to be. And last possession, they ran a get action for Lang, but it took a little bit. They had more time to get that play in. Right now, with 6 seconds, time is against them. Look for maybe a split action, or sometimes maybe get the inbounder a look, right? Sometimes defense forgets the inbounder, so if you're the Blues, you're trying to get an open three right away. And if you're Humber, you're obviously not fouling.
Yeah.
But you got to make sure you don't care about giving up a layup right now, but you don't want to give a three-pointer. So if I'm Humber, I'm probably switching everything and forcing the Blues to go for a layup.
Could Humber keep their nerve? That's going to be the key for them, because you talk about how chaos it can be with 6.4 left into this ball game. And Coach Miles looks really relaxed out there.
Yeah. And this is also an interesting debate.
And he's playing the gamesmanship of a timeout call.
Yeah.
So he's trying to ice Capilano in their sets here and make them think twice in what they want to do. So with that, Coach, 6.4 left. I mean, look, you don't have time to really set up. You got to find that first pass. It's got to be crisp, and the shot's got to be clear towards the rim.
Yeah, they still got time to run an action once the ball's in. They got time. But, you know, an interesting question, Mo. Coaches always have that question.
Right.
There's this huge debate. You're up 3, there's 6 seconds left. Would you foul if you're Humber and force the team to go shoot 2 free throws and prevent the 3-point attempt?
Well, the problem is who are you going to foul? Because if it's going to be Ghassemi, he is a high-end free throw shooter. If it's Cash Lang, he's high 70s.
Right.
You look at some of the other guys that they have out there that could do it. Hayer is 78%, and he has been a big game shot maker for this Capilano team during his time in this second semester of games.
I tell people all the time, if you have not practiced it, then you're obviously not going to do it.
So out there is Curley, Ghassemi, Atman, Coleman, and Lang. Motiki Stevens, Menzies, along with Harewood and Grant. So Grant is going to be the one to try to really make the pass difficult. 6.4 left in this ball game. A tie to force overtime.
So they have Grant on the inbound play, some length on the inbounder.
Ghassemi for the tie. Humber is 1.5 away from advancing through. Only one more free throw, and that will be that on this Wednesday night. Yeah,
tough break here. I'm not sure if that was the initial look that they wanted out of the out of the inbound play. A contested 3, but and here Humber has a chance to ice this game, Mo.
Menzies, one free throw will ice it. And now to really put a cherry on top of this game. At halftime, Humber was a team in chaos, and now they smell like roses as they survive and advance. Welcome to March Madness. They win 86-81 over Capilano, who now have to chase for bronze tomorrow, and Humber plays Vanier in semifinal number 2 tomorrow night at 8:30 p.m.
Mo, what a game. This is what a national championship is all about. Great job to both teams. And look, for Humber, that's a grind out type of win. And like you said, it doesn't matter how you win. At this stage, you want to find a way to get the win, and they did just that. And now we'll see if they're healthy tomorrow, because they got some injuries to important players.
Antwi's the big one, right? Big point of contention in terms of what could happen here. Hopefully he is healthy, because he is a special player. He is a diamond for that team.
He is.
And you see Ghassemi and Miles having a good exchange. This was a great fight. Pac West OCAA, but the Ontario at-large bid comes up big on that. And they win this game 86-81 over Capilano, and Coach Price and Coach Miles exchanging a couple of words of good luck. And now time for the play of the game coming up. Cash Lang winning that award. He was a first-team Pac All-West All-Star this year. And Pac West definitely has shown their class. Again, next year VIU will be hosting the Nationals. So VIU will be back in this party, and Capilano will have to be in there as well. As Motiki Stevens big game for him. 12 points, 8 rebounds. Malik Grant had 20 and 9. 5 players at 10 plus points in this game, in this matchup. And we'll be joined by the player of the game. We'll get that locked in there. And a win by Humber convincingly in the end by 5. That's all they need is a +5 win. And they get that victory over. So Motegi Stevens, the player of the game. And that will wrap up day 1 from Vanier. And we'll see now. We get Stevens here coming up with us, coming up right now as we wrap it up in this day here. So day 1 is a wrap up here. We'll just wrap it up with Coach Renee and I as we. Coach, it's quite the day 1. No question, this was the best game out of the 4 that we had in terms of the quality and end-to-end from start to finish. Final shot missed by Capilano. Now we move towards day 2. UNB St. John will take on Keanu, and Briarcrest will face Capilano, and then we will have Taj Motegi Stevens on right now, as we will be joined by him. And we'll be joined by Taj Motegi Stevens. Taj, congratulations on the victory over Capilano. You went 12 points and 8 rebounds. How many heart attacks did you have in the second half, given this game was going back and forth with you guys in Capilano?
Sure, I had a few, but I'm glad we came out with the dub. So.
You had a really unique start to this game. You had some quiet effort in terms of the rebounding and doing the small things. How important was that, the small details today in this win?
I believe the small details are always important. You know, the big is important, the small is important. As long as we come together, buy in, we're all good.
Well, congratulations on the win. You guys were down for the majority of this game. What does this win say about your team?
This means coach was talking about having will. You know,
yeah.
He just showed we had the will to win today. I'm proud of us.
Tomorrow night, you get a rematch with Vanier. You played them earlier this season in the preseason, and now you get them back on their court on this court. You remember what was the last time we played them here? How excited are you to play the Cheetahs tomorrow night at 8:30 p.m.?
I'm very excited. We'll be waiting.
Can't wait. Look forward to that game tomorrow. Congratulations. Enjoy the win tonight. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Thank you. You too.
All right, thanks.
A big win for Humber over Capilano. Day 1 was fantastic. We had some great excitement. And now we move towards day 2. We got UNB St. John against Keanu. We got Briarcrest against Capilano. Semifinal 1, Brébeuf will face, I beg your pardon, they'll face Durham. Long day for all of us. And, of course, we wrap it up with Vanier against.
Yeah. And Mo, a bit of a Quebec-Ontario matchup tomorrow in the semifinal as well.
Oh, it's a full Ontario.
Right?
Quebec
It's going to be
matchup,
interesting to see. We all know the rivalry a little bit between the two provinces. So I expect an amazing day 2 of our national championship tomorrow.
Day 2 will be fun. We'll have that for you. 1 o'clock tip-off tomorrow for the first games of 4 that we'll have here. So look forward to bringing you that tomorrow. And we'll have, by tomorrow night, our 2 gold medal finalists. And we'll figure out who will be playing for bronze on Friday for the chance to play for championship Saturday at 4:30 and, of course, 7 p.m. here. So tomorrow, tune back to us. Day 2, we'll have that ready for you. Frank Renee, Mo Khan, signing you off on day 1. We'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.
My wife just